Hello, Flosstube, and welcome to my video number 54. It is a Sunday, the 21st of November. We are 5 days out from Thanksgiving and a month and 4 days away from Christmas, which is mind-blowing. I hope that you're all well. It's been 3 weeks since I recorded the last time. I had a fairly productive few weeks of stitching, although I did do a little traveling. Mark and I were in Philly I took Friday off of work. So Friday night of this week, and I feel like we were also there. Sorry, I moved you a little bit. I feel like we were also there one other time. It's just that time of year. We have a lot of shows coming up, although one of our shows from December was canceled yesterday for health and safety concerns. So what are you going to do? We'll just add it to the long list of gift certificates. Anyway, I think I don't really have any updates other than, life is good, working, seeing the orchestra, keep on keeping on. So let's get right to it. So today, I think I briefly talked last time about really having some goals for the end of the year, and I finally took the time to write them down so that I could, figure out what I wanted to do. So, my goals before the end of the year and before I could start anything new were my my Little House Needleworks Snow House, the Easter Sampler, including the beading, Lady of the Flag. I did not have to do the beading or the back stitching. Finish the 1988 Prairie Schooler Santa, and finish the 1989. I'm making a small Lindy Stitches from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, the fall edition piece for my friend Tara. I'm making Sarah from Sarah K Stitching a small that I'm hoping to start before the end of the month because it's a black sampler. And Consider the Lilies I need to keep up with. So those are my goals between now and the end of the year. And I have to say, I think that they're kind of doable, although November kind of disappeared without me. So without further ado, I have completed one of them, and that is Little House Needleworks Snow White. I picked this up when I was in Ohio visiting my family at a cute little shop, and she had a sample of this done, and I loved it. She didn't have the fabric that she used, so I ended up coming home and using a mystery, I think it was 32 or 36 count green opalescent. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not quite as square as I thought it was. Wow. It looks square. Maybe I'm just not square. Anyway, here it is. This is a Mill Hill frame. They're 6x6, and then I used a painting canvas as my, what I mounted this on. I laced it. And then if someone could comment below how you close the back of a Mill Hill frame, that would be really helpful to me. I am planning to give this, see, it doesn't look bad there. I don't know. I'm planning to give this to the secretary of the board where I used to work. She was a great help to me when trying to find a new job and deciding if I should stay or go, and I just want to make sure that I thank her for that. So I'm really happy with this, and that's one thing off the list. So, yay. But yeah, tell me how you finished the back. So that's that. That's my first finish. And then, not on the list of things that have to be finished, but I finished this middle section of Halloween Town by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I am doing these on 14 count Murky by Picture This Plus with the DMC conversion. Well, it calls for mostly DMC, and I'm using all DMC. So there's that. Came out pretty cute. This took forever, believe it or not. I'm still getting used to the math of how much to cut, but this too will come in time. So this is number 2 done. And then I pulled out the bakery because it's super cute to show you again. There's the bakery. And then after Christmas, I will start this one. So that is another finish, but I'm not fully finishing any of these until they're all done. I'll just do a weekend of pillow making. Excuse me for the rumbling. And then they are in this bag that I made and that I love so much. Then I have another finish, and this was not on my list of things to finish, but it's because I finished it before I made the list. So this is Luminous Fiber Arts, and this is the Friendship series, and this is Stashing Squirrels. And I made this as a gift for Jen Gorski. I have the floss here. I used mostly the DMC conversion. If I had the fancy floss, like I had black coffee and I had chrysanthemum, whatever, I did use them. So very pretty, very fall colors. I hate when that happens. I used a 32 count pumpkin color from Color and Cotton. It was their fabric of the month from the summer of 2020. So it's not perfect. I didn't have room for the acorn, and then I left the initials off on purpose, but I think it's pretty cute. So I'm going to finish this into a pillow, and you'll probably see it one more time, and then it's going off in the mail. So that is Stashing Squirrels. And that's it for my finishes this time, and I have to sneeze, so hang on. Okay, I'm back. So next on the list of things that need to be done before the end of the year, the goal, is my Leisure Arts Easter sampler. I'm using a gray color, 32 count Color and Cotton, and the called for DMC. And I actually finished the stitching on this. I love it. The colors are very me. I did change the color of the letters so that they are green, and then my initials are in pink. They were supposed to be, I'm sorry, it's really blown out there. Is that better? Let me play with the color of my ring light. It kind of makes me blind a little bit. Is that better? No, that's blowing it out even worse. There we go. That's it. So you can see I had left it in the hoop for a long time, and I really ironed it, and it's definitely better, but I'm going to iron it again. So it's not beaded yet, you can see. And I decided to leave off these flowers. They're just not my style. So left those off. And I left this border off and did this one because it matched the top one. So the stitching's done on that. We're going to bead tonight. I actually just dug out my Don't Impale Yourself, my roller frame. And as soon as I'm done filming, I'm going to put it on the roller frame. And Jen recommended, hang on, ignore the bag. She recommended this nylon like fishing wire floss, except it's for stitching. So I'm going to use this to bead so I don't have to change floss colors. So it'll be a good practice on beading before Lady of the Flag. So the colors for this are some of my like all-time favorite colors. I loved them all together. It's pinks and greens and beige and beautiful. It's funny, so I finished this and I finished Stashing Squirrels, and there was a lot of colors in both of those. So now I have to put them all away. I hate doing that. So it took about 40 minutes last week, and I put away all of the fancy floss that I had out, needed to get bags made for it, like with the name. And then I put all my DMC away, and now I have a container that I put floss that needs put away in, and it's full again. Actually, doing that a couple weeks ago, I'll just show you part of my haul. I keep my fancy floss in these kind of fancy boxes, and they're linen. And I got the first two that I had from Staples, and then I couldn't find them again. I went to Amazon, and there they were. So I need to spread out my Classic Colorworks and my Gentle Arts are all in the same and they don't fit anymore. So I ordered 2 more of those. So that's part of my haul. But I'm actually not done with my whips yet. So part of my list of things that need done is Lindy Stitches. I'm making this for my friend Tara for Christmas. And it is the Lindy Stitches piece from the fall punch needle and primitive stitcher, which is called Bathing in Asters. So cute. That's what my friend's cat looks like. I fell in love with it. I am using I don't know if it's the called for DMC or the DMC conversion, but I'm using the DMC, and I'm using an Anchor Black because I have a random thing of Anchor Black. So my knotted threads. There we go. So there's the colors. And then I've actually gotten a pretty good start on this. I was working on it yesterday in Philly while Mark was at work. So I've done the top border and the first of the flowers, and then this white flower. I'm leaving the bottom border off. You can see I don't have a ton of fabric, so it's fine. And then the cat goes here, and then there's just a small border here. So it's just gonna fit. Give it a good iron, make it into a pillow. This is a 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. Whoa. Hang on, guys. This light is not good. Some of you have just the most beautiful light, and I really don't. Oh, that's my back. So yeah, there's that. So cat here and a little bit of border down here, and then it will be done. So that's what I've been working on at work. And then, like I said, I worked on it in Philly yesterday for a couple hours while Mark worked his actual job. So I'm hoping to finish that this week, next week, we'll see. And then I'll work on the Prairie Schooler Santas as my during the day smalls. So you are probably wondering why it's the 21st of November and I haven't shown you Consider the Lilies yet. Well, I dutifully pulled out Consider the Lilies when I was supposed to at the beginning of November. And I said, girlfriend, you are going to knock this one out, get it done, and then you can go back to, you know, your goals. You've all seen it. My beautiful Consider the Lilies. This is by Heartstring Samplery. I am working on 1 page a month for 2 years. I am coming up on the end of a year, so I have 10 months done. So I think we talked last time. It's still in the hoop. We talked last time about the fact that I was going to go and do the border. There we go. Yes. So I put the border in, the green border, and then I did that all in one night, and I said, you know, I think I'm going to do the flowers. You know, I know I'm tired, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I got this entire flower done and figured out that I had stitched the fabric onto the back. So I had to rip out that whole flower. So I did do that. I ripped out the flower. And then I said, timeout. You're in timeout. So I did put this away. It still got a little bit of the floss on it from the rip out. I did put it away because I was annoyed. And I've worked on many other things since then. I actually didn't stitch for 2 days because I was annoyed. But this week, once I get the beading done on the Leisure Arts piece, I'm going to pull this back out because I don't want to fall behind again with the holidays coming. So that's Consider the Lilies. Timeout. And I think that's all my cross-stitching whips. Yes, it is. I do have my sweater that I've been working on, and you will be happy to know that after many, many months of stitching on this, I have finally, it's time to do the actual sweater part. So this is May by Dre Knits, and I've been working from the bottom up and I am to about here. So now you start making the neck hole and the armholes. So I took this to the movies when my dad and I saw James Bond, and then I worked on it in the car with Mark, and we are finally 18.5 inches in. So if I stand up, you still can't see it all. There we go. So you can see we've reached, to the top. So yesterday when Friday, when Mark and I were heading to Philly, I thought, I better bring a knitting project. I can't work on that one in the car anymore because I have to pay attention. So I picked out from this book that I got on sale from Hobby Lobby for $6, sock yarn shawls. And I picked out this vintage flare because you can make it as short or as long as you want to make it. And I have this beautiful, it's 100% silk, and it is a pink and a light green beaded yarn that I've had in my stash for forever. And there's a little bit of tinsel in there also. The color really doesn't show. It's very subtle. And then there's the green beads. So I was going to take that with me, and then Mark calls me and he's like, I'm ready to go. I was not ready. So I finished balling that up yesterday. Turns out his eyes were dilated and he couldn't drive, so I drove anyway. But that'll be my new car knitting project. It's only 200 yards of silk, so it won't be it'll be a very small, like, cowl-y neck thing, but that's all right. That is what I will start next. And then I'm cautiously optimistic that before the end of the year, I'll be able to finish that sweater. The problem is I would rather cross-stitch than knit. So that's what happens. Plans. I have many. If I finish everything, I have 2 things I would like to start for Christmas. Well, 3 things really, but 2 things. First off, I have had this kitted. This is the Blue Flower Winter Blooms. And this came in the Advent calendar last year for the Black Needle Society. So it came with the called for fabric and the called for flosses. There's 5 fancy flosses. And they've been sitting in a bag ever since. There's some DMC also, which I'll have to pull out. I forgot. But one of the other pieces that came, I decided I was never going to stitch. So I put that's one of the things that the fancy floss container is so full, because I decided I was never going to stitch it. So I should just put the fabric and the fancy floss away. And I did do that. So I want to do that one because I really like the colors. And then Lindy Stitches came out with several new charts. One of which is And to All a Good Night. I love this so much. So it turns out this calls for an 18 count or a 36 count, 18 count Aida or 36 count linen. And she used a mini dot linen by Zweigart. Well, I have the 20 count dot linen. Not linen, Aida. So the dots are a little bigger, but I've decided that that's what I'm going to use. I already have it in stash. I did purchase the called for DMC. It's obviously nothing has happened with it yet, but then she had the floss packs refilled, like she had them again. So I did order the fancy floss pack. So it'll be a mix of DMC and fancy floss. I want this to be my Christmas Day start. But I have to really, everything except for Consider the Lilies has to be done or I can't start this. And I don't know who I'm pretending that on Christmas Day I'm going to have time to start a project. I mean, we're having a taco party Christmas Eve. My brother and his wife are going to be here. My friend Sarah is going to be here, but you never know. Maybe I'll finish. So we shall see. Now, what else do I have for haul? So I have that Lindy Stitches piece that I got. I also got one of her other new releases, and I do have the fabric but not the floss for this coming. So this is not it. It's a mess over here. I also got Glad Tidings, which is Angels We Have Heard on High, the song. I love, love, love this. It's so fun. I was gonna get the floss pack, but it does use dinky dyes, which is silk. And I just decided that I didn't want to spend that much money on what I was gonna use. I was just gonna put it on Ada. It was gonna be a small, didn't know how I was gonna finish it or if I'd ever do it. So I did not get the silk. But that's in the 2-stitch list. I also got my huge Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine for Christmas. This is my final issue, so I have to send them money. I can't wait. I am happy to do that. There's nothing in here I wouldn't stitch. I love it all. Vanna's got a great tutorial in this one. Where is it? Actually, I'm really, really excited about this one because these are on perforated paper, so they're not Mill Hills, but it's how to finish an ornament that you've done on perforated paper. And I'm planning to do a bunch of Mill Hills next year. So as always, Vanna, thank you very, very much. And what else do I have in haul? I had, oh, here we go. Nope. Hang on. So my friend Ashley sent me my birthday gift, and she sent me, this is a needle gauge. I think it's a needle gauge, although the holes are kind of small, so I actually think it's a thread drop. It's a cute little bee. And then these excellent sheepy scissors. Aren't they adorable? They're very heavy, actually. And then she sent me the coolest necklace, which I don't know where I put it, but it is it's got a silver thing around it, and it's a Polish, from Poland, a piece of change. So that was a very cool birthday gift that actually arrived yesterday. So that's all the haul I have. This is a very short video. I did want to show you one other thing. It printed really small, but this is Stitch Daily from Kelly Stadola. She gave it away as a free gift for what are they calling it? Black Sampler November. And I decided to use a piece of the Ada that I have left from the many mistakes I've made. And this is Wildflowers by Karen. I have a whole bunch of these, and it's a black with a little bit of pink in there. So I'm going to put that Stitch Daily on here for Sarah K. Stitches for Christmas and make it into a pillow. So that's actually before the Prairie Schooler Santas. That's the next small that I have to work on. This was a very disorganized and very short video. Luckily, you guys love me anyway. I hope that you're well. I hope that you have a wonderful and safe and happy Thanksgiving. I will see you hopefully in 2 weeks with more finishes and maybe some fully finishes. Anyway, stay safe. Bye.